in the Griffin Guide from the academic office. So I want to start here with our mission and the history of our school, and how a lot of what we do is centered around these ideas. So you see our mission all over campus, and our teachers are constantly thinking about the vision of the graduate and how we can teach you to develop these different skills for the vision of the graduate. Then we have learning principles as well, which put the student at the center, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and that we are engaging you as a full person. Skipping down, so if you had, I made a separate document for the Griffin Guide, and I skipped a few pages to get focused on the academic notes. Here are some notes and policies. You should have a positive attendance record. Your work should be on time. You should have an academic integrity. I'll come back to that soon. And be respectful and courteous, which I think is one of our strengths at Pomfret as a community. There are some graduation requirements. For the new students, I've actually put some videos by grade in this folder that Mr. Jenkins is organizing, so you can see what your requirements are. In terms of a diploma, you qualify once you've met these requirements, and we all vote, the faculty vote on all of you graduating at the end of the year. And then there's a couple details there. Advising is really a central part of your life at Pomfret, and that's true for your academics side too. So your advisor is one of the first people you should talk to about the balance of your schedule, about things that are going well and going poorly in your classes. But your advisor is the point person for teachers, for you, the student, for your parents there, and it's one of our strong programs. In terms of course planning and selection, returners did this last spring with their advisors, and new students filled out forms and were able to do that over the summer. And I've entered requests, and the schedule will be out by the time you see this. If there's course changes, I mentioned in each of these the grade level films I made that there's an add drop period. I'm going to extend that and say that the add drop period starts as soon as you get your schedule. So please make any changes that you know about then before we get to school. And then once school starts, if there's something that you need to change, we can do that in the first 2 weeks. After that, it's a lot harder to change classes, but if we need to, we may. And that's usually on leveling or just things that are to an extreme. We have honors and advanced classes in every subject. There is a chance for independent study or online learning. If there's 4 or 6 class or something Pomfret does not offer, we can have a conversation about what that might look like. If you're doing an independent study, you have a faculty advisor on campus that you check in with regularly, and some great work happens there too. I'm going to scroll through a lot of these other things. The details are in the Griffin Guide, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate if there's something I skip over. In terms of homework, this is a homework, particularly when we have remote learning happening, is sometimes hard to tell what was classwork and what was homework. But in our traditional setting, when we have class, length of number of homework assignments should be approximately 45 minutes per class for a non-advanced class, and then 1 hour for advanced or honors. We generally don't have a lot of homework on vacations or long weekends. And this is slightly different. You'll have signature assessments throughout the term that are similar to exams, or you will have an exam at the end, depending on the subject. So what that is, it's a cumulative, pretty extensive project that's going to be 15 to 20% of your grade. We issue grades 6 times a year, at the midterm of every term and at the end of the term. We do have a letter grading system, which you can see here. Project Pomfret is a high pass, no credit. If you are missing school for an exceptional case, you may get an incomplete, and we make those incompletes complete as soon as we can. Sometimes in the spring we had pass fail, but all of our classes now are going to have grades and then the transcripts. And kind of wrapping up this section, we have honor roll, high honor roll, heads of school scholar, heads of school scholar being the top of those. Cum laude is determined at the end of the year for juniors and seniors. And we have lots of things in place to respond to poor academic performance, often including the advisor and me as the academic dean. And here are some specific. If you're on academic review, if you earn 1D range grade, academic concern if you earn 2Ds or 1E, a failing mark, and you're on academic probation if you're on academic concern for 2 end of term marking periods. So these get worse as you're in a worse shape the lower down you go in this document. We do have limited tutoring available, and that is a great resource. But also, your teachers should be your first resource in terms of trying to understand the material. And I'm going to pause there and then talk about discipline and academic honesty in the next slide or the next film.